Welcome to Hey Las Vegas. I'm your host, Bror Fredrik, bringing you all the latest Las Vegas news, updates, information, and what the actual F. On today's episode, I got some unsavory news that would fall in the category of what the actual F. Something not so nice happened right here, and we are gonna get into it right after this. And we're back. I have to be very, very careful about how I discuss this situation. That's why I said not so nice, because, the way YT tends to qualify and quantify and, you know what I'm saying. I don't have to get into it. But anyway, let's get into this. On Monday, late afternoon, about 4 p.m., right in front of the plaza, right past this corner here, as part of the F1 track, an incident took place, an incident where two individuals got into they claimed to be a half-a-mile argument via cars and vehicles, the whole road rage situation. And some people are blaming it on F1, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, what happened was two individuals got into someone might have cut off the other one, whatever, pulled out in front, whatever happened. It hasn't come out yet, and who really cares? So the one individual who was behind the other individual right here, we're passing the spot right this very moment, decided to get out of their vehicle. Now, this individual, a 50-some-odd-year-old man, was an Uber driver, and he had passengers. He got to the place where he was so annoyed about what took place in this argument between, him and her. The other driver was a 24-year-old female, that he decided to get out of his vehicle and confront the other person. So what he did, again, got out of the vehicle, walked up to the car, I guess at the light or in traffic, because the traffic has been very, very heavy due to the deconstruction from F1, and he began to bang on her window. She responded by rolling down the window, pulling out a heater, and putting one in his neck. You know what I'm saying, right? Now, this individual, the 54-year-old Uber driver who had passengers in the back, decided to expire. Well, he didn't decide. He didn't really have a choice in the matter. He expired on the spot. The 24-year-old female who pulled the gat left the scene. Now, of course, they had her license plate, and she was later arrested. They went right to her house, arrested her, and later released her. And they're not going to declare it quite yet a case of self-defense, but to this point of this recording, no charges have been filed. Now, you can say, well, she left the scene, but again, one, being a female, two, the circumstances, you could say, well, I was scared and I left. If, a guy did that, probably not. There'd be a whole different, maybe they'll still charge her with leaving the scene, but that's besides the point. However, at this point, they did decide to release her, and I'm sure everything's going to go to trial. I don't know if I'd call it tragic or not, because, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I suggest that nobody engage in such behavior, if you know what I'm saying. Me personally, I was brought up in Brooklyn. I mean, if you made eye contact with someone too long, you'd get called out on it. Someone would be like, hey, what are you writing, a freaking book? There's a certain decorum. And in this day and age where people are hot-tempered, people are basically devolving into the most narcissistic creatures ever. The road belongs to me. I mean, just to get out of your vehicle, especially as an Uber driver. And now Uber drivers in this town are a different breed. They get pissed off. I almost got run over by one in a valet. I mean, I get it. You got somewhere to go. You got somewhere to be. You're on the clock. You're trying to make money. It's your side hustle. So you buy diapers. I get all that. But if you can't handle the job, just don't frickin' do it, you know? It's supposed to be professional, quote-unquote, drivers, and he was so angry and so pissed off at someone possibly maybe cutting him off, tossing him the bird, whatever. Whatever the case may be, that's utterly freaking ridiculous to go and confront that individual. You just don't do things like that in this day and age. You don't know who's packing heat, female or not. I mean, did he feel like a tough guy? Oh, I'm gonna go bang at you. He had to know it was a woman. You know, women could be just as aggressive and assholistic as guys. I mean, let's not kid ourselves about that. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Beat her up? I mean, he got what he was looking for, and I can't make a call on whether it was self-defense. It might have been just like an FU type of thing. But, you know, if some dude came up and banged on my window right now, I'm not sure what kind of response that I'd have either, you know what I'm saying? But just stay in your vehicles. It is not worth it. And here in Las Vegas, how would I say, it's pretty easy to carry. You can open carry in this state. It's fairly easy to get a permit in this state. And it is completely legal to carry one in your vehicle. I'm not going to get into the laws, but a lot of people carry heat in this town. So to just think you're going to walk up to someone, I mean, just try to be, this is the please be careful part that you saw in the thumbnail. Just be careful out there. Your life is not worth it. Someone else, well, your life is worth it, but it's not worth losing your life to confront somebody just to tell them, hey, asshole, you cut me off. Just don't do it. I mean, I used to drive slightly more aggressive, and, you know, look at this traffic here. I guess I could have just wailed over to the side, cut this guy off to avoid sitting here for a second, but it's not that freaking important to me. But people treat it like, you know, that narcissistic, the road is mine type of thing. But I am going to let people go. I let people go all the time. Now I'm going to make the move because it's safe. But I let people go. I'm just like, go right ahead. I'm not going to get into confrontations. It's not like I'm a pacifist. I'm not freaking Gandhi. I mean, I like a good confrontation once in a while, but it's not worth my life, and it's not worth yours either. So don't get out. Even in your own hometown, but especially here in Vegas, people drive like nuts. People behave like nuts. We have road rage incidents on the daily, and quite frankly, the part that tourists do not see about this town is the amount of, how would I say, unalivings that take place in this town would absolutely stun you. You're not going to hear about it because, one, you know, it doesn't happen that often on the Strip. However, this town is not the safest town to go around and just buck wild, confront people like you're a tough guy. I mean, you cannot kung fu, you cannot jujitsu your way out of a 9mm. It's just not happening, and it's just not worth it. So my advice to you is to take a deep breath. Don't get all caught up in the BS. Try to avoid the confrontations here on the Strip. Some people will antagonize you. You don't want to ruin your life, ruin your vacation, just to make a point with another individual. I see it all the time here. Just don't. And when you're home, just kind of learn to pick and choose your battles. Someone cutting you off and, you know, giving you the bird and whatever, yelling at you, just turn up the music and be done with it. I'm not saying you have to be a wuss or nothing, but cases like this bring to the forefront that it's just not worth it, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, be careful, and be careful here in Las Vegas. And to those of you who are Uber drivers out there, calm the actual F down, number one, because I see more road rage coming from taxi drivers and Uber and Lyft drivers than anyone else, than the actual locals. I get it. You're in a rush, but hey, you know, you picked the job. No one made you do it. So calm the actual F down. If you're a passenger in an Uber, I would suggest definitely rating your driver. I mean, I don't know if this guy had a, a profile full of these type of incidents, or he just snapped. But if I was in the back of that car, he had 2 passengers in when this happened, and then he got offed, right in front of the 2 passengers. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. If that ever happens to you, I don't know if I would get out. I don't know, because, you're opening yourself up to other situations, but definitely duck down in the back seat. If your driver just bails and goes and confronts another driver, don't get out, because you might end up in the crossfire in an incident like this. However, just get as low as you can in the back seat, making Facebook reels and Instagram and all the rest of that stuff, putting it up on TikTok is not worth catching one in the head, if you know what I'm saying. I had an incident where me and my buddy needed an Uber, and this Uber driver, we opened the door, and it was a Tesla, nice car. They opened the door, and 420 came wafting out. We were like, what the heck is this? What are we being picked up by? And she said to us, and it was a female, she said to us, oh, I just started. This kind of like mellows me out, gets me ready for my day. And we got in the car, and we were like, what? We are involved in a like a DUI situation, or whatever they call it when it happens to be 420. It was unfreaking believable. And of course, yeah, I'm that guy. We're that people, because it could happen to someone else. And we were late for something. We were late for coming to Bavette's, as a matter of fact. So we took the ride, and we were cautious and whatnot. But what are you gonna do? That was on us, but we could not get another Uber driver in time to make dinner, whatever. But all I'm saying is, some of them could be a little wacky too. And of course we said something. The Uber driver was, 420 and right before they picked us up, and went on to tell us about the kids and the this and the that and all the other bullshit. But yeah, rate your Uber and your Lyft drivers. That might have avoided something, because if this guy had a habit pattern of going buck wild, that could have been prevented. But anyway, nonetheless, bad situation on the Las Vegas Strip. And like I said, this was Monday at 4 p.m., broad friggin' daylight. And if something comes up with more information, I will let you know what transpired. But like I said, as of now, that guy is unalive for doing the dumbness of jumping out of the vehicle, left his family behind. And the young lady who did the unaliving, so far, no charges have been filed, even though she was initially arrested. So, effed up scene. Be careful out there. I love you guys. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Hope everyone has just an amazing Thanksgiving. And just take time with the ones you love. Appreciate that time with the ones you love. And I appreciate you. And I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, and get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you want to support the channel, check out all my links in the description below, especially my streaming platform, which is brorfredrik.com, where I don't have to bite my tongue and pull my words. We can talk about anything and everything, and so can you. And I appreciate the support over there. And don't forget to check out my sponsors. Well, not sponsors, but they are channel partners, which is Tiege Hanley, 30% off, look great for the holidays, and Olight makes the perfect Christmas holiday gift. Who doesn't want to turn night into day with the best damn flashlights known to man? And they can be found at olight.com. And I got a coupon code down there for you. And I got all the other links and all the other stuff too. But most of all, I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.